this knowledge, I feel like, is probably going to be hopefully common knowledge over the next 5 to 10 years for women. But basically what cycle syncing is hello loves, welcome back to my channel. Okay, for years I had no idea that my menstrual cycle was affecting everything in my life. My energy, my mood, my cravings, my creativity, my productivity. I thought that being moody and highly emotional and really irritable was just my reality. So I was getting healings all the time. I was getting really addicted to meditation and going to loads of ceremonies because I was seriously thinking, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what to do and I'm not balanced and I'm very, very highly emotional, which isn't true. I would just always feel like I was pushing and never quite getting to like a destination, you know? Like I felt that when I have a project, I would just try and work for 2 weeks. And after that 2 weeks, I just wouldn't have any energy anymore. And I would just feel like a complete failure. Like I just couldn't continue. Like why could I not be consistent? I just felt constantly frustrated that my body wasn't cooperating with my needs and my goals and my desires in life. I just felt like my body was constantly letting me down and I never had enough energy. And when I had my period, I was just constantly in pain and I was just getting loads of, just really ultimately just felt really disappointed by my body for a lot of the time, even though I was doing yoga a lot, even though I was meditating all the time and going to loads of ceremonies. I just never felt grounded. I just felt like I was always on this whirlwind of emotions and never quite felt satisfied or like I had arrived. And then honestly, this is why I'm making this video. When I found cycle syncing, when I found menstrual attunement, that's when everything changed. Like everything changed. I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for probably like 7 years. Now I'm doing it. Now I can do it because I'm really grounded, because I can feel in my body that I have arrived. And this knowledge, I feel like, is probably going to be hopefully common knowledge over the next 5 to 10 years for women. But basically what cycle syncing is understanding that we are not mini men. We do not work on a 24-hour cycle. We are women. We work in accordance with the moon cycle. So we have a 28-day hormonal cycle. And today I really would love to share with you the 5 ways living in accordance with my menstrual cycle has changed my life and how it can change yours too. So, number 1, I finally stopped feeling guilty for resting. Before cycle syncing, before understanding that my hormones fluctuate and I should rest when I'm bleeding and I should be more active when I'm ovulating, it seems very simple, but once you actually understand and know how the female body works and how our hormones work, everything just becomes so much simpler. So I stopped feeling guilty for needing to rest. When I was in my menstrual phase, when I'm bleeding, I would allow myself to rest. I would allow myself to lie in bed, to eat chocolate, mostly when I'm bleeding, to be honest. But I wouldn't feel guilty about it. I'd just be able to rest and understand. Now I have the knowledge that when I'm resting during my menstrual phase, in traditional Chinese medicine, I'm building up energy. It's almost like a battery. I'm like charging my energy reserves for the whole next month. So for the next 28-day cycle. So I know that resting during the menstrual phase is vital. Otherwise, I'm going to be really tired in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 days, and I'm going to be depleted. So I know that during menstruation, I need to rest. So I stopped feeling guilty about resting and I allowed myself to lie down and just be. The best part is I actually get more done by listening to my body rather than going against her. Okay, the second thing that's really changed in my life is my energy levels, so I don't have burnout anymore. So I have so much more vitality, so much more energy, because I understand when to create projects and when to be editing or when to be relaxing or when I should socialize and when maybe I should retreat a little bit more. So this is really understanding that in ovulation we have a lot more testosterone. We are naturally just so much more social because it's our body's time of trying to find a mate. This is our time when we're the most fertile in ovulation. We are so much more likely as women to be much more open and much more social. It's in this time that I'm going to plan my events, that I'm going to do my videos, that I'm going to be socializing with friends or organizing different different meetups, that's the best time. So I have so much more energy. I don't have burnout at all. I don't feel guilty. I just feel like everything is in flow. It's literally like this is like the blueprint to flow, honestly. Like, yes. Another thing that's really changed in my life is PMS. Okay, so this used to be quite a big one, like PMS, like premenstrual syndrome. This is like you're feeling very irritable, and my mood when I'm just before I bleed, I'm so much more calm, I'm so much more relaxed. Of course, I feel, especially if you're doing a lot of healing work and you're working through some things, of course I feel different things moving through my body, but I'm so much less reactive to it. And that is because my hormones are so much more balanced, and because I have so much more energy, and I feel so much more at peace with my life because everything is flowing in a much easier way. So yes, my PMS has definitely calmed down, but it's also because I work with different herbs at different times of the month. I also eat different foods at different times of the month, and naturally my hormones just began to balance. Another really big one is connection to my body. So before I started on my cycle syncing journey and living my life in accordance with my cycle, I had this disconnect from my body and disconnect from my pleasure. It wasn't always there. It's something that came in the last couple of years, and that's like a whole big topic to delve into, epigenetic somatic body healing, which we'll definitely go into at another stage. But it's important to note that I didn't have this connection to my body anymore. I started to feel this disconnect, and when I started to cycle sync and I started to look at the different practices I could do in different stages of my cycle, like breast massage and self-touch and womb massage, womb meditations, and I started to really work with my body in my cycle, my connection with my body completely changed. Now this took probably like about 6 months to a year to really start to feel into my body again and get to know her and feel this like pleasure again, you know. So it took some time, definitely, but I was really committed to it, and I had everything that I needed in my ebook Cycle Magic that I've written, which includes everything that you need to take care of yourself in every single week of the cycle. And finally, number 5 is I feel like I'm so much more aligned in my life, and I have more, not control over my life, but I feel more in control. I don't feel like I'm a victim of my hormones, or I'm a victim of my moods, or I'm a victim of my energy anymore. Actually, I have a very clear understanding that I'm player one, and I call the shots, I make the decisions, and I'm not a victim to these changes. Actually, I support my body, I support my changes, I support the fluctuations that I'm experiencing through self-care, through food, through herbs, through journaling, and I know exactly what to do in every phase that is really, really supportive. Something that's really important to know is I schedule my creative work when my brain is sharp, which is the follicular and ovulation phase. And then I allow myself to slow down when I need to in the luteal and the menstrual phase. It's really not that complicated when you know how to do it. And if you're curious about this and you're curious about experiencing this for yourself, then I've actually written a book called Cycle Magic. Cycle Magic is a self-paced ebook that gives you everything you need to live in alignment with your cycle. It gives you a blueprint for every single phase. So inside you will learn how to understand each phase of your cycle and what your body actually needs, which foods, herbs, movement and rituals support you and your hormones at each different phase of your cycle, how to balance PMS, mood swings and feel more aligned every month, and self-care practices and journal prompts which help you to connect to your body's wisdom. For me, this is the foundational knowledge that we need as women to really live delicious, abundant and aligned lives. It's crucial that we center our womb at the forefront of our spiritual practices. For too long, we have been living in patriarchal structured spiritual practices that do not center the womb, that do not consider women's bodies, and do not consider that we are living on a 28-day hormonal cycle. We are not men. We need to relax our bodies. We need to come into a yin state. We need to nourish our wombs, nourish our hormones. And honestly, when you do this, just observe how your life changes. For me, it's something that I wish that I knew sooner. and I think that this knowledge should be taught in schools. My ebook is available on the 21st of March. If you're watching this past then it's available now. But equally, I'm going to be creating a lot of free content around this. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave a comment if anything that I said resonates with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.